The solemnity of the Most Holy Redeemer, a celebration of hope, love, and abandoned redemption. Every family has a special day that reminds them who they are and why they exist. For the Redemptorist family around the world, that day is the solemnity of the Most Holy Redeemer. It is the most important feast of the congregation, a day that fills every Redemptorist heart with gratitude, joy, a renewed missionary zeal. But why is this feast so special? And what does it mean not only for the Redemptorists but for every Christian? The story of this celebration begins more than 4 centuries ago. The beautiful city of Venice, Italy. In the year 1576, a devastating plague swept through the city, claiming thousands of lives. Families were torn apart, fear gripped the people, and hope seemed to disappear. In the midst of these sufferings, the leaders of Venice turned to Christ, placing their trust in the Redeemer. They made a solemn promise that if the city were delivered from the plague, they would build a magnificent church in honor of Jesus Christ, the Redeemer of the world. When the plague came to an end, the promise was faithfully fulfilled. A beautiful church designed by the renowned architect Andrea Palladio was built and dedicated to the Most Holy Redeemer. Every year thereafter, the people of Venice gathered in joyful thanksgiving to celebrate God's saving love. Even today, the famous Festa del Redentore continues as one of the Venice's most cherished religious and cultural celebrations, reminding generations that hope is always stronger than despair. Nearly 2 centuries later, this devotion found a very special home within the congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer, founded by St. Alphonsus Maria de Ligori. In 1749, Pope Benedict XIV granted the Redemptorists permission to celebrate the solemnity of the Most Holy Redeemer. The Redemptorists celebrate this solemnity on every year, the third Sunday of July. Since then, this feast has become the principal solemnity of the congregation, a day that celebrates not simply an event, but the very heart of the Redemptorist vocation. Titular feast, the name of the congregation itself tells us everything. The Redemptorists are called the congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer because our entire life and mission is centered on Jesus Christ, the Redeemer. We are called to proclaim to the world that God's love is greater than sin. His mercy is greater than our failures, and His redemption is always to every person. This beautiful truth is captured in the congregation's motto, Copiosa apud ium redemptio. With Him there is plentiful redemption. Psalm 130, verse 7. These words are much more than a motto. They are promise. They remind us that no one is beyond God's mercy. No situation is beyond His healing, and no life is beyond His redeeming love. The liturgical celebration reflects this joyful mystery. The church is adorned with white vestments, symbolizing victory, holiness, and joy of salvation. The prayers and readings focus on thanksgiving, hope, and the immeasurable love of God. Special emphasis is often given to Psalm 130, whose inspiring words continue to echo through every Redemptorist community. With the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plentiful redemption. The Redemptorists, however, for Redemptorists, this feast is much more than a beautiful liturgy. It is a day of renewal. It is a reminder of the mission entrusted to them by St. Alphonsus to preach the gospel to the poor, to bring hope to the abandoned, to reconcile sinners, and to make the redeeming love of Christ known wherever people have lost hope. As we celebrate this great solemnity, we are reminded that redemption is not simply something that happened in the past. It's a living reality that continues every day through God's grace. Christ the Redeemer continues to walk with his people, calling each one of us to live with faith, hope, and love. On this joyous solemnity of the Most Holy Redeemer, we extend the heartfelt greetings to all our parishioners, the parishes dedicated to Most Holy Redeemer, the benefactors, the lay partners in missions, the conferers and RYVM members. May Christ, the Redeemer, fill our hearts and homes with his abundant mercy, peace, and hope. Thank you for your prayers, generosity, and faithful partnership in proclaiming the goodness. May the promise of plentiful redemption continue to inspire and strengthen us, and may the most holy Redeemer richly bless us and the loved ones with joy, grace, and every heavenly blessing.